Thank you. Yeah, so I agree. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'd like to inspire you as well to go beyond what is currently available. See how well this works. Just don't do it from Microsoft. There we go. All right. Yeah, so quick introduction in case we haven't met. You know, I'm the chief technologist for ClaritySec. It's a new startup in this area where we specialize in security research, engineering, consulting, security assessments like pen testing. And we've been doing this for a while. We just decided we're going to do it. We're going to do it our way. So, why am I here? Why do I want to talk to you about this? And why are we going to talk about a mask? That's the tool I'm going to focus on tonight. So, a mask does network recon. It does subdomain enumeration. How many people here are familiar with that process? You got one back there. All right. So, if you're doing perimeter assessments or you're trying to understand what an organization looks like from the outside, it's a pretty critical step in that process. In order to get visibility, I would call it, on their namespace, what assets they have exposed on the internet. And attackers use this all the time, and I would say if you're wise, InfoSec experts also do to understand their own namespace. If you'd like to play around with this, it's open source. You can get it at that URL on GitHub. Because unfortunately, I can't show you all, everything it can do tonight. The focus here is why did I build it and why does it matter to you? All right, so yeah, perhaps that's one of the most important questions right here is why did I do this? There's other tools available. How many people here have ever used the harvester? All right, look at that, more hands. Excellent. Yeah, well, the harvester is similar. It looks up email addresses and does subdomain enumeration. So you end up with a list of, hopefully people you could potentially reach at the target organization or assets that you could reach at the target organization. But I would argue that a lot of these tools are not good enough. Or at least if you're really looking to get a more complete view of these target organizations, things like the harvester won't do the job. And also, some of these tools were made when they had, I would say, more limited options on how to gather the data. I mean, we just saw a great presentation on how data is so available now, right, to do a lot of recon and intelligence gathering. So this right here is a pretty important bullet right here where it says a mask does all of its information gathering without ever sending a packet to the target organization, and all of it is through the web. Now, I'm not using any other protocols, at least not directly, other than HTTP and HTTPS. So what exactly am I using? I'm just using search engines, web pages that I know have the data, just data sources on the web. I'm using web archives. How many people use web archives? All right, more hands, I like it. Yeah, but web archives are so powerful because they're like a snapshot of a website that you can go to without actually going to that organization's website. So they never knew you were looking. That's very powerful. It's stealth, essentially. Web archives, services, we must have a lot of people in here that respect Shodan, right? That use that regularly. So Shodan, I would call it a service that's available through the web, where it has a lot of powerful information about internet infrastructure, which is what we're interested in here. But there's other services like this as well. And then this one here, Google's DNS over HTTPS, this was a real great service because I'm able to launch all my resolutions for DNS through them. And it all shows up as coming from them, and I can tell them, please don't send any of my location information with these requests. So it's all just coming from what you could probably argue is the busiest DNS service in the world, and they can't tell that it's coming from me. Pretty interesting, right? So I was going to show you how, assuming I can get everything over here without it being too much of a problem, how much different the results can be. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is going to be tight. And maybe given the time frame, I would argue it's not really necessary. What I would encourage you to do instead is go grab this tool and try it for yourself, because I was going to shoot it at MVCC anyway, which is a pretty small domain. There's about 50 or 60 results that come up, at least with my tool. With the other ones, it's more like 30. But just go try it yourself and actually shoot it at something bigger, like, I don't know, like albany.edu, where there's thousands of results, or rit.edu, where there's tens of thousands of results. It's incredible. It's amazing how much intelligence you can gather through this. Since we're a little tight on time, I'm going to skip this part, but just trust me. The reason I wanted to show it to you is, compared to the harvester, Amass gives you twice as many results, and that's just against MV, where the max is about 60 something anyway. But the point I'm trying to make here is, there's a couple of points actually. One is, the web is exposing so much more information. You don't have to use, for instance, in this case, we don't have to use DNS directly. You know, I'm just going to Google's website and making all the DNS requests. So all these services are being exposed through the web and creating almost like a shield for you, where it looks like it's coming from their service and not from you. It's hiding you, but you're still getting the data. And then, just because, well, and it's accurate, really accurate. I mean, I have, in this case, I could say, I have twice as many results as the de facto tools, or previous generation, whatever you want to call them. But here's my real takeaway I was hoping to share with you guys. Always be willing to question what's already out there. Just because it's in Kali and it works, that doesn't mean it's actually good enough. It means somebody took the time to make something. It kind of works, but dig into the protocols, dig into the vulnerabilities or the threats around these systems. And if you don't think what you're getting from these tools is quite good enough for you, definitely just go make your own tools, and it's easy. Everything that Amass does, I already told you, gets it all from the web. All it does is pull these web pages and then do regular expression searches on it. It's trivial. I mean, truly, it's easy. You get the data, and we're not even using APIs. We're not doing anything complicated here. We're just grabbing the data, the raw data, and doing regular expression searches on it. It's easy. So it goes to show you that anybody can do this with any language you want. I mean, this is written in Go, but you could do this obviously with Python or whatever's your preference. Make your own tools, just like Jake said earlier. And that's really what I have.